Welcome to my top 20 countdown of new music released in the month of March. I'm DJ Mikey. And before we begin, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you'll know whenever we post new shows on our station. And we hope that this top 20 will give you some new music to check out while you're practicing safe social distancing. Starting off the countdown, coming at number 20, we have Zachery, Allan, Starkey, who's a New York musician and producer who's been a hit in the New York club scene. And he drew the attention of New Order and scored some warm-up gigs on their last tour. And Bernard Sumner has teamed up with him again on his new song called Force. And now Bernard doesn't sing on this song. Instead, he worked on synths, guitars, drum machines, and production. But that said, the singing is very much in Bernard's style. I actually like this song quite a bit and probably should be a little bit higher in my countdown, but I'm penalizing it a little bit because it seems like Bernard stole from himself on this one, as this song is eerily familiar to Plastic from New Order's last album. But I still like it. This is Zachery, Allan, Starkey with Bernard Sumner on the song Force.
Tear apart the sky. Fear will not tear us apart. True force, true force, true force. From the edge. Tear apart the sky.
And number 19 in the countdown, we have the Chain Gang of 1974, who is an LA synth band similar in style to New Division and appropriately from the same town. They've been putting out great synth tracks for years, and last week they released two new songs, Benz and The Hurt Is Good. And I like them both, but the nod goes to The Hurt Is Good in my countdown. And this one has a bit of a chill vibe to it that strikes some similarities to some M83 tracks. So here's a listen to number 19, the Chain Gang of 1974, The Hurt Is Good.
Sometimes the hurt is good, good. Sometimes it hurts so good, good, good. Oh my God, I think you're moving on.
Morrissey, what are we supposed to do with you? By all accounts, people are getting pretty sick of you, but I try to listen to you with blinders on and just judge the music on its own merits. And I do like some of the covers on California Sun, so was very optimistic about his new album, I Am Not a Dog on the Chain. For the most part, I won't say that I love the album, but there are a few songs that I'm cool with, and my favorite is Jim Jim Falls, which is number 18 on our countdown. And the last few minutes of the song sound like an A-game Morrissey track, lyrically and musically. I do like the song quite a bit, despite the seemingly bad advice he gives out at the end of the song. Have a listen to Morrissey with Jim Jim Falls coming in at number 18.
Talk about it. If you're gonna kill yourself, then for God's sake, just kill yourself.
At number 17 in our countdown, we have Christine and the Queens, who are a guilty pleasure of mine, I have to admit. And I guess it's not really guilty because this is a hit or miss artist for a lot of people. I think this French singer is super talented, and I've been a fan since I first heard her song Saint Cloud, but 5 or 6 years ago, I would say. The new album La Vida Nueva came out last month, and it only has 6 songs on it, but I enjoy it quite a bit, especially the sassy track Nada and this more chill tune called Mountains We Met, which is our selection at number 17 in this month's countdown.
Wait for all the faces, then just yours. And mountains, 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 since we met.
The Birthday Massacre are a goth darkwave band from Ontario who has been around for 20 years or so, and they just released a new album called Diamonds. And this one isn't as dark as some of their earlier work. It perhaps has more of a Ladytron sound to it, and this album's been getting some good buzz for good reason. The track we selected at number 16 in our countdown is The Last Goodbye from the Birthday Massacre.
And the world stops turning. Stay for all the reasons why. Till the heart stops searching.
At number 15, we have another guilty pleasure of mine, PVRIS. And PVRIS is more of a pop artist than alternative or indie pop, but it reminds me at times of the electro-pop sounds of Churches, and I've been loving all of her singles and videos so far. This one, Dead Weight, has a little bit more of an edgy club sound to it. It's just good, fun electro-pop, and I'm really digging it. This is PVRIS with Dead Weight, coming in at number 15. At number 14 in our countdown, we have Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, and the Gallagher brothers keep putting out music while the debate rages on whether Oasis will get back together. Most of the releases from the boys are hit or miss, leaning a bit towards the misses for me, but this new single from Noel and his High Flying Birds falls under my hit category. This sounds like it would fit right in on Oasis' debut album. The track is called Come On Outside at number 14 in our countdown. Black Swan Lane is an up-and-coming band that keeps on getting better and better. The band has deep vocals similar to Editors, but with a more ethereal modern rock backdrop, and the singer Jack Sobel actually recorded an acoustic performance of their track Relax and Breathe exclusively for our YouTube channel, and we're extremely thankful for that. This video is simple, yet mesmerizing and beautiful to look at. Have a peek. This is Pure from Black Swan Lane at number 13.
The world and made it so pure. She looked at me, but it's
At number 12 in our countdown, we have Panic Priest with Nighthunter, and Panic Priest is a self-labeled dark crooner from Chicago singing about death, sex, and doomed romance. They have a new album coming out titled Second Seduction, and the first single was released on Bandcamp only so far. Vocally, this reminds me of the 80s band Red Flag, but with a much darker post-punk, dark wave hybrid sound to it, and I think this album's got potential to be amazing. Until we can find out when it's released, we'll enjoy the first single, Nighthunter, at number 12.
I find them in the darkness, finally coming my way. They're hiding in the corners, leaking through the pouring rain. In time I figured out just every clever word to say.
Coming in at 11, we have Loveblind, who's a bit of a St. Marie Records supergroup. And these guys have a hybrid sound, a little shoegaze, a little indie rock, and at times the vocalist sounds like Placebo, which is a good thing. And that's certainly true on this song, Goodbyes Without Goodbyes. The debut album, Sleeping Visions, was released this week, and there's plenty of great tracks on it. I know you're going to be hearing more from them on Brenna's Shoegaze Sunday show on our YouTube channel, but right now you can hear the track Goodbyes Without Goodbyes from Loveblind at number 11. At number 10, we have The Foreign Resort with Hearts Fade Out. And here's one of those tracks off of an album released last year, but the song was just released as a single with a video this month. And we're talking about The Foreign Resort and their album Outnumbered on the amazing Artifact record label. The band's going to be playing in Germany with Empathy Test this fall, which has me super jealous for anyone who gets to see that show. The single, as I mentioned, Hearts Fade Out, and it's a great post-punk tune with a little bit of distortion. And a cool story, the band reached 1,000 followers on YouTube thanks to this track, the same day that we reached 1,000 on our YouTube channel. So we are forever linked to this song and this band. Here is Hearts Fade Out from The Foreign Resort, coming in at number 10.
Hearts fade out, turns into violence. You don't want to let it go. Hearts fade out in the empty, silent cold. It's all you want to know.
Dale Bazio and Missing Persons are back with a new album called Dreaming, and the album consists of mostly covers of songs from the likes of The Cars, and Joy Division, amongst others. And to be honest, most of the covers were rather dull for me. However, the two new songs are fantastic. I instantly fell in love with the title track Dreaming until I heard the song Lipstick, which I liked a little bit better. And Dreaming sounds like it could be an OMD song with the singer from Johnny Jewel's Desire. This song, though, Lipstick, sounds like vintage Missing Persons, but also wouldn't be out of place with today's modern synth music. Well, welcome back, Missing Persons. Here is Lipstick coming in at number 9 on our countdown.
Lipstick killer, late night thriller, silent picture show, living out your fantasies in a Hollywood bungalow, crystal visions, indecisions, eyes are cold and bleak.
So here's a band that's been around since the 80s, and while I have heard of the name, I really didn't know anything about them. We're talking about Close Lobsters, and when Slicing Up Eyeballs posted about the new album, I didn't even give it a look because the name just didn't resonate with me until a friend told me that I needed to hear this, and I'm glad I listened. The whole album, called Post Neo Anti, is quite good. I actually struggled to pick out a song because there were so many that I liked, but the one I chose is called The Absent Guest, No Thing, No There, which has an REM meets a guitar-oriented New Order sound for me. So check out The Absent Guest, coming in at number 8 from Close Lobsters on our countdown.
Never transpires. He, indeterminate, suspended, postponed, delayed. Would that they had not strayed, endlessly deferred in space.
This is the second month in a row that I'm featuring a song from the post-punk band Spectres, and I got news for you. Next month might make 3 in a row. The album Nostalgia is quite amazing, which is what you might expect from an album produced by Jason Corbett from Actors, and this is the type of song that I could see Echo and the Bunnymen singing. It's so good. It's called Fate from Spectres at number 7. SRSQ is a solo project of Kennedy Ashland, the vocalist from Them Or Us 2, and after Them Or Us 2 band member Cash Askew died on the Oakland Ghost ship fire, she decided to go solo, and this is the result. The track was released at the end of 2019, but the video was just released this month. And while I love Kennedy's performance in this song, I'm actually really impressed with the male vocalist, who I'm actually not quite sure who he is, but he's got a strong Human League sound to him, and this is just a great track. Temporal Love from SRSQ at number 6 on our countdown. GRUM is a Scottish electro house producer who is new to me, but his influences are Depeche Mode, New Order, and Tears for Fears, so that is enough to open my eye. And this track doesn't remind me of those bands, though. It has more of an Oakenfold or Tiesto vibe to me. On this track, he uses a 20-year-old indie pop artist named Natalie Shay on vocals, who has a Heather Nova sound to her. This track is called Glow, and it's a smooth electro groove. I hope you like it. From GRUM with Natalie Shay, Afterglow, coming in at number 5. Just a few weeks ago, Cold Cave released this cover of a track originally sung by Absolute Body Control. And while I'm not familiar with that band, this song is amazing. And while it does sound like a mashup of Cold Cave's Glory with many old Cold Cave songs, it's still fantastic to me. Now, earlier in the show, I downgraded Bernard Sumner from stealing his own sound, but I'm not doing the same here, as I can listen to this style of Cold Cave music all day long. Here is Waving Hands from Cold Cave, coming in at number 4.
Waving hands, waving hands, waving goodbye, it never ends. The story's over, and I don't want no tears. The story's over, we wasted a few years.
At number 3, we have Art Deco with I'll Never Give You Up, and this is a track that people are going bonkers over in our local scene. The last club night I DJ'd, I got in a bidding war with the other DJ over who got to play this song, and I lost, but I can play it for you now. And this has a glam Gary Newman meets Drab Majesty style to it. The band has an album in 2018 called Trespasser, but this track was released early this year, but it's new to me this month, so it counts for the countdown, and I'm hoping that there's a new album coming soon. Until then, this is Art Deco with I'll Never Give You Up at number 3.
Days go by, dancing in my memories. Dim the lights, words escape my melodies.
It's bringing me down, bringing me down, bringing me down again.
Take me.
At number 2, we have Shandine with You're in a Trance, and Shandine is one of the most long-lived dream pop bands. They return with a new album called Mercury Retrograde, and this album features multiple vocalists, including Julia Baer, who has been with them for quite some time and is an awesome friend of the station. This song, You're in a Trance, we chose, is from the newcomer Kitty on vocalist, and as I said last month with I Break Horses, you really can't appreciate this song from a small 20-second sample. This deserves a full listen to take in its beauty. The whole album was actually worth a listen, but this one is my favorite. It's You're in a Trance from Shandine, coming in at number 2.
I want my cake and I wanna eat it all. You're in a trance. You're in a trance. Da 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 da.
And at number 1 in our countdown of our top tracks from March 2020, we have Pulp's Jarvis Cocker, recorded under the name Jarv Is, and the lyrics in this song are particularly relevant with Saturday Night Cabin Fever, In-House Nation, and also the lyrics, Goddamn This Claustrophobia, very relevant for our times. His tour is postponed, as is everyone else's, but this album is going to be called Beyond the Pale, and it's due out on May 1st, and I'm super excited to hear more if it sounds anything like this, which is everything I could have hoped for in a Jarvis Cocker song. This is House Music All Night Long, coming in at number 1 on our countdown.
Saturday night, cabin fever in House Nation. This is one nation under a roof. Ain't got the truth. Goddamn this claustrophobia.
And that's going to do it for our top 20 songs from March 2020. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking the time to watch this video. I always have a good time making it. I hope you like watching it. And I will be back next month for the top tracks of April 2020. Take care, everybody, and please stay safe and practice good social distancing. We don't want any of you to get sick. See you next time.